You're on the Six Screens Telenetwork, earning the reputation of giving all the right ingredients, uninhibited, in exposing the hard, cold facts about the Watchtower Society. And now, Disney.
Well, it's so good to see all the people coming in tonight here on a Saturday night. My name is Rick Farron. I'm up here at the Six Screens Telenetwork Control Panel, and we have a number of programs that will be coming on live tonight. Now, here is your chance to call up. You can call in live. You can do it on your telephone, and the number's right there in front of you on YouTube and Facebook, and all you have to do is dial that number and come in, and you can talk to Fran and Joe tonight. You can talk to myself when I do the news, or when we have Eric coming on later on. So, anyways, we're glad you're with us. Thank you for coming in, and I know you're not going to be disappointed. So let's bring Fran and Joe on right now, and Fran and Joe are filling in for Barbara Anderson tonight. Barbara Anderson, as we all know, had some difficult times in the last month or so with the death of her husband, Joe. And Barbara's also had the flu and has been recovering from that. So she's not on with us tonight. We're so glad that Fran and Joe can fill in. And she should be back with us maybe in 2 weeks. So we're looking forward to that. So let me bring Fran and Joe on, add them to the stage. Hello, Fran and Joe.
Hello, Rick, and everyone.
Hello, everyone. Thank you
Well,
for having us on.
Well, boy, I tell you, we got a lot of people coming in. You guys call all your relatives or something?
Oh, boy. They're all friends. They're all friends.
Right. I'm looking at the computer screen here and I see a full amount of people coming on the telephone line. It's unreal. See, they listen on the telephone line too, and they can listen on YouTube and, of course, on Facebook. So what's going on in Fran and Joe's world?
Well, we're still connecting people, connecting XJWs.
Collecting birthdays.
Yep.
Putting on and putting on meetups too.
Yep. And sharing other meetups.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, you guys seem to have the patent on that. You guys have done a great job. You've done a great job putting people together. So many people, they know you from your meetups and they know you from traveling around the country. So we're really looking forward to you coming on tonight. So what would you like me to do? You want to put that up now, the website that you mentioned?
Yeah, please. Yeah, that's
all right.
Our XJW
all right.
friend.
Just give us a second. We'll get that up. Okay. It's going to be share screen and it's going to be right here. Okay, so let's open that up, share it, and then we're going to click it down. And you want to go down to birthdays, do you?
Yes, please. Okay, yep, starting with March 1st. Oh, you went too far. There's a lot of birthdays in March.
Boy, there is a lot, yeah. So tell the people. Yep. Okay, go ahead, yep.
Okay, so usually we celebrate everybody's birthday because in the Watchtower we couldn't celebrate our birthday.
Yeah, we call this the Cupcake Club. For those that never had the cupcakes when they were younger.
Yeah, so if we missed your birthday in March, please let us know. We can still put it on the website. So the website again is EXJW Friends, and anyone can go on it. It's free. So just starting the birthdays this month, March 1st was Joe Garino and Wendy Davis. March 2nd, Shauna Houle and Martin Haw and Fran Garino. You want to do some?
No, go ahead.
Okay, March 3rd, Stefan that comes on Six Screens. March 5th, Indira Macko Brown, Kathleen Johnson. March 7th, Penny Tarrant and Alora. March 10th, Johnny Perkins.
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. March 8th, Trevor. Thank you for watching. March 10th, Johnny Perkins, Linda Lawton. March 11th, Leo Rosenthal. March 12th, XJW Joy and Patty Wall. That's Wild Wall's wife. March 13th, Natasha Garfield. March 14th, Monica Vasquez. March 15th, Artsy Kim and Joseph Gallion. March 16th, Lindsay Garfield and Lindsay Slatt. March 17th, Stephanie Lynn Carson, and she was on Rick's program a couple weeks ago. March 18th, Doris Melsheimer and Karina Harding. March 19th, Debbie Rivera, Melissa King, and Trisha B. Dell. March 20th, Kim Sue Wilcox and Howdy Paul. March 21st, Sarah Hicks Beck and Anna. March 22nd, Michaela Abraham. March 23rd, Nero. March 24th, Jim Acker, Kelly Eckerman, and Gianna Grassi. March 25th, Randy Eckerman and Dana
Colicchio. Let us know if we can correct anything.
March 26th, Pete Manning and Brittany Nicole. March 27th, Michelle Ragoza and Billy Wanda Wiggs. March 28th, Justin Fiorenzo. March 29th, Wes Bolish as Dinah lost husband. March 30th, Kumi Wellman. And March 31st, Jimmy Bumpus. And when we have it on our Wednesday program, there's a little song they play. But anyway,
Happy birthday to all.
Thank you for all letting us know your birthday. And then if you scroll down under birthdays, we have anniversaries. March 16th was Jonathan and Christine Murphy. March 27th, Jared and June Nicholson. March 28th, Randy and Kelly Eckerman. Happy anniversary, y'all. And if we missed any, please let us know. You can let us know in the chat. Did you want to say something about the chat?
Oh, the chat. The chat, you know, I view the chat really in a way as...
Oh, we're not finished yet, Rick. So Joe just wanted to say something about the chat.
Oh, okay. The chat. We're so glad we have the chat here. I view the chat almost like old technology in a way. Isn't some of us are familiar with a clothesline. Some of us aren't familiar with a clothesline. Depends how old we are. But in your backyard, in everyone's backyard, back in the day, there was a rope line that went a certain distance, and maybe it was on pulleys, and it went in and out, and you can pull it in and out. And the people, or women mostly, sometimes men, would be hanging out the window or on the porch, and they'd hang their clothes on it and pulley it out, and it'd be stretched out across the lawn, and it'd be blowing in the wind to dry the wet laundry. So basically, it was a solar clothes dryer. Basically, the sun dried it and the wind dried it.
Yeah.
And the other thing, the reality is that everybody got to see everybody's laundry. So it was very public. And everybody got to see what everyone else, well, wore and did and all that. So it was public. And so we have to be very careful that we show things that, well, we're glad to show, because otherwise it's very public. And the chat is that way. It's really like that old technology of the clothesline. Everybody gets to see our laundry. And in most cases, it's clean laundry. We have to be careful that it didn't miss some and it's not clean laundry. It's like, oops, how did that one get out there? This wasn't supposed to be. That's the chat. The chat is like a clothesline where our laundry gets out there for everyone else to see. And as pleasant as that could be, it could also be unpleasant, and it could also be disturbing and cause trouble. So we need to be careful and be aware of the fact that we're making public whatever we express. which is a good thing if we have good things to express. But we need to check ourselves and be sure of what we're expressing. Now, it's up to each individual. You can express anything you want. I personally, I don't have any restrictions as to what's in there. But I personally would restrict what I put in there because there's some things I just would not want to put in there. So let's just remember it's a place where our laundry is made public. And in those cases, we're glad for each other to see it. In other cases, if you got some laundry that's not in good shape, you ought to take it somewhere else. You really, in private. It's a good place for it. So something to think about.
That's such a good illustration. Joe was always good with illustrations when he gave talks, and he comes up with some really good ones. But it's true. It really is true. So let's be careful what we put in the chat because others can read it or they can misunderstand it.
Yeah.
So if we can just finish up XJW Friends, we have the meetups. So the first meetup we have, I don't know if you can scroll down there, Rick. Let me go on. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay. So April 5th, next Saturday at 2 o'clock. It's an online meetup. So that means anybody around the world can join. It's at 2 o'clock, 2 to 4. And all you have to do, you can either get it from get the information off of XJW Friends, or you can Google DC XJW online meetup, and it'll give you all the details how to get on. And there's even a phone number there. Now, also that day is April 5th is XJW Burbank, California meetup. And if we click on that, it'll give us the details. It's going to be April 5th from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. It's going to be at the Brew Brothers Brewery in Burbank, California. That's a tongue twister. Brew Brothers Brewery, Burbank, California. The hosts are Jerry Stone, or as we know him here, Shack Composer. Sometimes he is also known as JP when he calls in. So Jerry and Karina Harding are the hosts. You can go to the website and the address is there. Again, this is in Burbank, California. For anyone who is, excuse me, close to there, Burbank, California. So it's next Saturday. So it's on the website. All you have to do is check the website. Now, on May 18th, we know that that's a ways away, but we're having an XJW Excellent Chicken Barbecue meetup right here in our area, not at our house, but close by. It is the XJW Friends, and we also have ones that were not witnesses, but they are very supportive of us. It's going to be in Remsen, New York. The address is there if anyone can make it. May 18th, it's on a Sunday at 1 o'clock on the lake at the Kiefer's house. And there's an RSVP, and please bring a dish, snacks, or drinks to share. So we already have some folks coming. Some are coming from Massachusetts. Another family is coming from Pennsylvania. So we expect a nice meetup there. And then, of course, we can't forget August 1st through 2nd, and that is going to be the Still Alive in 2025 convention, or as we like to call it, Rick's Huge Excellent Meetup. Rick's Huge Excellent Meetup. It's going to be August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. If you can come 1 day, 2 days, or all 3 days. And again, just tap on the Still Alive in 2025, and all the information is there. And I know Rick talks about it on the program too. We will be there, and we know a lot of friends are going to be there. So we hope to see a really good turnout. This is the first huge meetup ever. And Rick got the idea 2 years ago when we were in Washington, D.C. And he was sitting there and he goes, you know, we should have a meetup and invite everybody. So that's what he did. And he's put a lot of effort out for this. So if anyone can make it, please do. This is the opportunity to meet friends. Even if you're a little shy, it's okay. Everybody's, you know, in the same boat. We all have something in common. We were all Jehovah's Witnesses and we left the Watchtower. So please check out XJW Friends, and that's the website that we use. And we also have our Wednesday night program on Fixing My Faith at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we always have a different subject. But what's tonight's subject? Thank you, Rick, for putting that up.
Yeah. Tonight's subject. Let's think. I wanted to make mention of one of the videos of the channels that we watch. It's Beth.
No, that's stuff. What's hers?
And the shunning.
Shunning, and yeah, shunning, and what is it?
Beth. I don't remember her name, but we'll get it.
It's about stopping the shunning.
Yeah.
Okay. Stop the shunning.
Stop the shunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she put out some fabulous detailing of what it means to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses, in particular, what it means to be baptized as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, particularly as a child, a young person, what it means for them, the pressure, the loss, the consequences that they go through as a youth, especially. And it's very, very good. Everybody, I recommend everyone to go see that. And as I was listening to it, I couldn't help but feel that this has to be one of the biggest scams that anyone could ever get into. Not a money scam. Of course, people will lose money. They'll lose their future economic standing from the Watchtower, because in most cases, a young person is not encouraged to be educated and to get a better education for better work. They're not encouraged. They're encouraged to slave for the Watchtower. And they're also encouraged not to develop critical thinking, not to develop friendships outside. And this is all to their detriment. It doesn't benefit them at all. So basically,
excuse me, can everyone hear us? Somebody said in the chat they were having a hard time. If I push the volume up, will that?
No, won't help at all.
It won't help.
Oh,
We've got our microphones
on.
let
us know.
Just let us know in the chat if you can hear us.
So basically, it's an absolute scam. Now, you know, and I know what it would be like if someone unlawfully, legally entered into our checking account, savings account, bank account, anything like that, and they somehow scammed us out of the money because, you know, they offered something wonderful. And it's like, wow, it's a good deal. You know, I'd like that. I'm gonna accept that. Or maybe it's out of fear. Maybe someone mentioned that, you know, your relative, your son, your daughter, your mother, whatever, is stuck in this area, and they wanted me to get in touch with you to send them money so that they can get out of this jam. Oh my goodness. Oh, what? Where do I start? What do I do? How do I do it? And you send them money only to realize you're scammed. You're absolutely scammed. And how do you feel after that? I know how I feel after that. It was abused, violated, tricked, stolen from, and how pathological of that person to do that. Well, at any rate, Watchtower is a scam. It's an absolute scam because they offer something. They offer truth, everlasting life, seeing dead loved ones again, unending something or other somehow. You know, they offer, and it doesn't come through. What they come through with is making people slaves, exploiting them, getting them to work on their projects, give them real estate that they can sell, and then they use that money. And a lot of what they use the money for is illegal. It's like covering up pedophiles, making sure that the pedophiles that are in the organization don't bring a bad name to the organization. So they're going to protect them. And so the pedophiles smile and say, yeah, we love this. This is our this is our paradise. This is our paradise. Yeah, it is. And guess what? We got scammed. Scammed. This is what we were doing. We were part of that organization that supported that, as Joseph Rutherford, the second president, said, religion is a snare and a racket. Those two things, two separate things, a snare and a racket. Well, a snare is a trap. You don't recognize the trap. Snares aren't traps that you can see. Oh, stay away from that trap over there. I see it. No. See, a snare is something you don't recognize as a trap. You recognize as something you want. Oh, over there. Get that. Grab that. Go there. Boom. All of a sudden, you're caught. Like, what happened? That's a snare. It's a disguised trap, which you, I, whatever, which the prey willingly enter into. Willingly. Why? Because there's something there that's attractive. I want that. And they know that. That's a good hunter. A good hunter knows how to do that. Good hunter. Because he wants that prey. And he doesn't want a pet. In most cases, he doesn't want a pet. He wants food. Yeah, he wants what they have, their life. That's a snare. Well, and a racket? How about a racket? Oh, a racket, and here's what goes along with the snare. See, they like the snare is that they'll pull the people in, and then they'll use them for illegal purposes. Well, wait a minute. I'm not going to come and do anything. I don't want to do anything illegal. No, what they're going to get me to do is to support them in what they're doing that's illegal. And my efforts are going to help them get money. And I'm going to even give them money so that they can get rich, and use that money for whatever political or illegal criminal or political purposes that they want to use it for. That's the racket. It's a total fraud, but it's also a snare where it's abusive and hurts you. That's what Rutherford said. He told people, he said that. He said religion is a snare and a racket. Well, I can vouch for that. I mean, Fran and I came from the Catholic Church. Let me tell you, that's a racket. You know what the mafia is like? Well, just think of the same, two and the same. Each one's worse than the other. That's a racket. They present themselves as beautiful and wonderful, and they're the lowest of the low for the purpose of power, control, wealth, not for religious edification. That's just the window dressing that draws people in. Oh, what a beautiful religion. Oh, my God. Oh, the music. Oh, the pageantry. Oh, the everything. It's so beautiful. Yeah, yeah. Rich, beautiful. Oh, I money. Well, we know what's in there. They dress boys up as girls, and the priests use them as their little boys for sexual purposes. That's just the reality. And so now they're paying dearly for that. Ask any Catholic, they'll tell you how much money
Millions.
they're putting out now. Keep paying, keep contributing. Got to pay off these lawsuits. Keep paying. Okay, yeah. So that's the snare. That's the racket for the Catholic Church. I don't have to explain too much about the racket for Jehovah's Witnesses and Watchtower. Most of us know what it is. If you don't know what it is, you better do some research, and you're going to find out how deep of a racket it is and how it started out that way as a political entity, as Zion's Watchtower. What does that mean? Zion's Watchtower. Does that sound political? Check it out. You'll be surprised, maybe. Maybe you won't be surprised. Where's the money go to? Oh, well, who knows? Maybe the Zionistic agenda. Interesting. Is that political? Check it out. See what you think. Oh, and by the way, witnesses, don't you dare be political. Don't you be political. No, no. You be neutral. Yeah. No.
Yep, you can't vote.
No. Don't even talk about it.
Can't hold
Just keep giving money and keep contributing so we can be political and do what we want to do. It's a racket all the way, and a scam, and a snare. Okay. Well, so now we know. Well, here's just my observation and a little bit of my rant. And what I'm going to do is offer anyone else to give their rant if they'd like, with some, boundaries. So we come out of the Catholic Church, we left. We come out of the Watchtower, we left. Why? Because one is a snare and a racket, the other is a snare and a racket. Both are scams. You get injured. I was not sexually injured or abused from the Catholic Church. Others were. I wasn't. I was not also abused from the Jehovah's Witnesses, but we basically lost our family at this point. Why? Because, well, they do this thing called shunning. It's this psychopathic practice of splitting families up out of threatening to steal from you if you dare turn on the organization or if you dare leave. That's the way they roll. That's their snare and their racket and their scam and their abusive practices. Okay, well, those are two religions, right? Well, there's more religions, aren't there? Oh, well, hey, well, there must be dozens more religions we can try out, don't you think?
You can, sure. You want to?
Well, sure. I mean, you got to be hopeful, right? You got to be hopeful.
Sure, if you want to.
Because, I mean,
it's a person's, it's their personal decision.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. See, because we understand, we've been raised to understand that religion is your way to do what? What would you say? Religion is when
to worship God.
Worship God. Getting closer to God, relationship with the Most High, and others would see, and to get my reward. I want that reward. Oh boy, I want that reward. Oh, and I also want to avoid. Boy, I want to avoid that punishment too. Whew. I want I want to get close to God. I want to avoid that nasty, nasty, nasty place. Plus, I want to go to that wonderful place. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. Also, we want to be reunited. I want to see Deadlock. We got so many wants and desires, and boy, I'm looking forward to religion just fulfilling them all. How about you? I mean, that's the way I was brought up.
That's
the way I was brought up.
I was
brought up
yeah,
that way.
Same here. Yeah.
And we approached the Watchtower that same way. But personally, we've come to see that I think it's a scam. In fact, I'm fairly certain it's a scam. In fact, Joseph Rutherford even told us before we even got involved in it. Well, he didn't tell us because
we didn't know.
We found out. We found out he said it earlier. If we'd been there, we would have heard him. But we read in the publication that he said it pridefully, arrogantly. Religion is a snare and a racket. Oh, wait a minute. Let me correct that. False religion. Yeah, false religion. Because see, we're the true religion. We're the true religion. All the others around, they're the snare and the racket. Not us. Not us. No, not us. You can believe that, right? That's truth. Well, frankly, that's the only truth I ever heard from that organization. That religion is a snare and a racket. And the Catholic Church proved it to me. And Watchtower has proven it. And are continuing to prove it. That's all Watchtower is going to do, is continually prove that it's a snare and a racket. And they're going to go forward proving that. More and more people are going to see it. And so that's my view and my take on not only the Watchtower, but Catholic Church, but religion in general. And if anyone has any other view on it, I let us know. I'm open.
Yeah, please call in. We'd love to hear
I'm
your
interested
thoughts.
to any outside interest, opinion, or whatever. Help me where I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe someone say, Joe, you don't know the truth.
Hey, Joe and Fran?
You don't know the true gospel, or whatever. Probably don't. So
Yeah, we'd love to hear
I'm no
your
expert.
feelings, if you want to rant or you want to just let us know your
let
feelings.
us know. Really, I invite anyone, if they have a rant, please come on, share. But here's some self-restrictions. Don't take too long. This isn't to steal the whole rest of the show. Just come on, share and share alike, and then invite someone else to come on and share their rant. So with a view to that.
So we can all share.
So that we can all share. Because someone tells me we've all got some rant. So oops.
Sorry.
So thank you for listening. And if anyone would like to, give some feedback or share how you feel about it, we truly would appreciate
Or
it.
anything that's on your mind.
Or anything.
Anything. It doesn't have to be about religion.
No, it could be anything. Anything.
Let's see who's in the chat. Well, we got a lot in the chat. So please.
Hey, Joe and Fran?
Oh, yeah. So 7.
Joe and Fran, can you hear me?
Not yet. No.
Oh, no,
Fran,
I'm sorry.
Fran and Joe, can you hear me? Fran and Joe, can you hear me?
Yeah. So Rick, it just says he doesn't do text.
Oh, okay.
Rick,
Can you hear me, Fran and Joe?
The phone number and then hit *6 to unmute.
I don't think they can hear
Unmute yourself.
Hold on. For some reason they can't hear. I'm not sure. Fran and Joe, can you hear me?
So it's 727-731-6701. Hit *6 to unmute yourself. And if you've never called in before, now's your opportunity.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. Well, we need to hear from you. You need
Hey, Fran and Joe, can you hear me?
your feelings with.
I
other
guess they
people.
can't hear
We
us
need
for
to
some
listen.
reason. I
We
don't know
need
if they
to
got their,
So in the chat, we have Dallas and Carrie Kay and Andrea Roberts, Yvonne, JL, and Dallas, John Marciano, Ruby. Hi, Ruby. JL, Yvonne, I think I said that. Anne Marie DeSoto. Hi, Anne Marie. Johnny Chrysotomo. Sorry, I don't know how to say the last name, but he's Johnny the Greek from London. Okay, that's easier to say. And also Valkev is here. Shaq, composer. Hi, Shaq.
Hello.
Let's see. We saw some others.
well, let's see if we can't get Fran and Joe. I'm not sure why they can't hear us.
Everybody's wishing Barbara to get well.
I'm not
Thank
sure there
Barbara.
whether
Susan
they.
Gullen.
I answered
And
phone.
I'm gonna give them a call on the phone.
And
Tell them, yeah.
What's this here?
where?
Let's give them a call right now on the phone because they cannot hear us. So let's see if we can't notify them. And
Do we have to
for
get
some
on?
reason,
Sorry. Okay.
Oh, we're not able to hear them?
No. But we should.
No. Oh, there's something.
Yeah, but then you're going to hear everything.
okay, can you hear me now?
What do we do, Rick?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hold on 1 second.
Get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear us now? Hold on 1 second.
We went on the phone. You have to be on the phone.
No, this should come through.
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Yes.
Joe, you have to be.
Maybe we got to go off and come back on.
Hold on 1 second. Are you on the telephone right now or no? Let's see.
No, we're not. Rick.
Okay, good, fine. Well, for
Should
some reason,
Should we be on the telephone?
no, you should not be on the telephone.
May have lost
Uh,
us.
I guess you're not, but let's see if we can.
Get
I'm
it
not
back.
sure what.
No, we're not.
I'm gonna call you myself right now. Hold on 1
Wait.
second.
Maybe we'll leave and come back.
Yeah, just
I'm gonna call you myself right now. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Call Fran and Joe.
Calling wireless Fran and Joe.
Let's see if we can't get them on here. Hold on, folks. Let's see if we can't get them on here. Hold on,
okay,
folks.
Rick. Yep.
So yeah, for some reason it's you're not picking up on the telephone calls.
No, we're not.
I'm
Okay.
just trying to walk you through this. You have your speakers on? Check your speakers.
The speaker is on stream on the right on the bottom.
That's a
our
microphone.
Yep, speakers on.
What's that?
Audio.
iPad, microphone, USB. Yeah, I know the audio.
Audio's on. Sometimes we have trouble. We have to get off and go back on again.
Okay, why don't you do that? Go ahead off. I'll kind of talk to the audience for a little bit.
We'll be back.
All right.
Go out and come right back in. Okay, well,
we
we'll
will.
see what happens.
Thank
All right, well, we'll get right back on, see what happens. Well, this is Rick Farron here at the control panel. We'll get Fran and Joe right on with us. They couldn't hear the telephone calls. We do have a number of people who want to speak up to them. But sometimes when you do live programs like this, it can always be some little snafus here or there. We'll see what happens. They can dial out and come back in again. Sometimes that kind of straightens it out. Can you hear me now? Let's bring Fran and Joe in, see if they can hear me now. Hello, Fran and Joe.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Joe, everyone can hear you. Okay.
Testing, one,
Can-
one.
Can you hear us now?
We can't hear
Can't
you.
hear
What
anyone.
did we do? Did we?
Is your do you have your speakers turned up? 1, 2, 3,
No, we
testing.
can't. Okay,
1,
we
2,
can hear you.
1, 2, 3,
hear you.
testing.
Yes,
Okay.
you hear-
All right, your speakers were turned down. That's what happened. Okay,
I'm sorry.
so that's okay. So we get that straightened out. So I'm gonna get off the phone. I mean, you guys have to get off the phone too. I believe you're not on it, but that's okay.
No.
Stay
No,
just
we're
like it
not.
is. So you can hear me all right now. All right.
Yes.
Did someone want to come in and say hello to Fran and Joe? I believe there was one on there.
This is Susan.
Go ahead, Susan.
Say hello.
Yep.
Can they hear me? Can Fran and Joe hear
Yes, we
me?
can hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, Susan.
Oh, great. Hi, this is Susan. I really enjoyed what you were talking about. And one thing that the Watchtower did to me, there's sometimes when you leave, there's certain little things that are in the back of your mind that you still believe, but it's not correct to believe. They teach you wrong things. And one thing they taught is that there's one true religion and all the others are wrong. And that's
true.
not
Yeah.
true.
I know.
You have to read the Bible, and then you will know what to believe.
Yeah.
And no one else can tell you what to believe. And so there's not one true religion. So if you keep going from church to church to church, thinking that you're going to find it, the right religion, you're not going to find it. You have to do your homework, and it's work. Yeah, it is work.
So
But you have
a
to do it.
question. Yeah. So a question with regards to that, Susan. So would you say, well, then does that mean I should explore all the different religions, or don't even bother? What would you say? I mean, either for that.
I would say that's up to you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if there's a place where you feel comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
where you know people and they're believing kind of what you're believing, I
Yeah.
would say go for it. I
Yeah.
would.
Yeah.
But if you go to let's say you go to a church and man, they don't seem to follow what Romans chapter 1 says about a moral compass, then maybe not. So, it's up to you.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. See, because people have that need not only to, well, privately know God, but they feel good around others who feel the same. They like to collect around each other.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, it seems like the religions have taken advantage of that by exploiting
Some
people.
some really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, some more than others.
Okay. So is it let the buyer beware? So what?
When a person buys a car, they research, right? I mean,
Right.
you just don't go in and one day just walk into a lot and buy a car. I mean, you have to
That's
do some research. So why not do some research if you're going to have a faith in God? I mean, more people do more research on a car than they do in a religion that they're going to believe in. So that's just my 2 cents worth.
Yep. No, I appreciate that, Susan, because we know what to look for.
Yeah. See.
We've been in the Watchtower. Some of us were in other religions, so we kind of know what to look for and what to stay away from.
Boy, if we've been exposed, especially those of us who've had more than one religion. See, we were not born in, yet he came from another religion that had troubles into this one that also has troubles. So, whereas others are born in and they've got their experience.
Thank you, Susan.
Yeah.
Would you like to invite someone else? It sounded like there was a man, a gentleman.
How you doing, Fran?
Hello.
Hi, this is Larry in Camarillo, California. So are you guys going to the Rick Farron's convention?
Plan on it. Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm hoping there's still more tickets. Maybe I'll get a ticket and meet everybody there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more tickets. I know someone just got one the other day, and Rick will probably talk about it on his program.
Yeah. No, that's really epic that's being done.
I'm sorry, I missed who you said you were. Who is this?
Larry John Wayne.
Oh, Larry. Hi, Larry. Yes, we'd love to meet you.
Yeah, Larry.
That'd be great.
It's so, the most tremendous thing, worst thing in my life was being part of Watchtower. the best thing is uniting with people that leave Watchtower. And I truly mean that. And interestingly, if there's people right now, there's who are presently witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I look forward to meeting you too.
That's right.
Because see, all of us were you. We were witnesses. And so we all share that. We all share that same those same desires, you know? And I just want to say that it's a beautiful group of people that we're part of.
Yeah, Joe. In fact, there's Rick. I just want to come on and say to Larry, yes, Larry, we do have tickets left. I'll just give a little idea of what's going on up till now so the audience has an understanding. And Fran was right. What got me thinking that like a meetup, a convention, a conference, whatever it would be, we would get a bunch of people come together, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. Because I found when I went down in September of 2020, it would have been 2023, there was a meetup in Washington, D.C., and there was 200, I believe, 56 people, I believe, were there. Now, not everyone wanted to, have their face shown and hold up a sign and protest, but afterwards, I couldn't believe it. When the all the filming stopped and the protest, so to speak, was over, all the people started gathering and hugging one another and taking selfies, and they were having such a great time. And, I've been protesting for years. I've been protesting for close to 20 years now. And I find that not everybody likes protesting. It's not for everybody. And I never beat people up if they don't like it, because it's a little, you get a little bit, a little bit antsy out there. It's a little, you don't know what to do. So yeah, so not everybody's into that. But anyways, it really surprised me that when the protest was over, all these people started sharing emails and talking to one another. And so I'm thinking, wow, that's amazing that they would come out like this near the end. So I'm thinking, why don't we have a real big convention or a real big meetup of Jehovah's Witnesses? And so I came back and I just started talking about it on the program, and almost daily for about a whole month, people were writing me, Rick, I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that. So I went out and I got a room, a conference room at the Hilton Hotel up here in Tewksbury, Mass. It's about 20 miles north of Boston. And it's brand new. It's just been renovated. It's really, really nice inside. So they have a conference room that holds 300 people. So I told them that we could get up to 500. They thought that might be a little too many, but I said, well, you have a room right next to it. So could we use the adjacent room and, people could still kind of hear it. We could have speakers and a TV set up there so they could at least be with us. So they said they would accommodate that for us. So right now we have about 300 people that have somewhat committed themselves to come. And they're coming from New Zealand, from Australia, from England. They're coming from pretty much all over the world. Even I believe one's coming from Africa. So it's just amazing that they want to meet. And what I find is, it's such a good feeling to be in a real brotherhood. And you folks, Fran and Joe, you're putting together people to come and be with one another and what have you. But there's such a feeling of exhilaration, such a real bonding that takes place because we can all share the same stories. If we went out and just talked to the average person on the street about how we've been touched by the tentacles, they would say, well, just get over it, knock it off. But, when you've been, this organization has really caused a lot of damage. Now, there are many people that come out, they're not really that hurt by it. But I have to tell you, in my 20 years of doing this, there's a lot of hurting people. I mean, really hurting. More than I ever really recognized. I got out and, I'm able to live a normal life and do okay. But there are people that have come out of this organization that they have a hard time with life. It's very, very, they're suicidal. They're so depressed because their family doesn't speak with them. So there's numerous reasons. And boy, if you can be with people of like mind, and then that is really so important for people because we can all come together and share the same stories. And you guys will be giving a talk and talk about what you folks have been doing. We've got other people that'll come there live. I got a number of speakers already. We have Barbara Anderson is going to be there live if she's doing well, and she feels like she is. She's looking so forward to it. And we have also Fritz.
Do you have any room for more speakers?
Oh, yeah. In fact, Larry, I know you have. What I got is anyone that has an extreme abuse story. And Larry, you have that. You have it. I've listened to your story. So, we'll give you a speaker slot. Now, write me, Larry, at jwworldnews@gmail.com. And I'll send you all the information about it. If you think you can make it, I'm not going to hold people hostage, but if you think you can make it, I'll send you out a ticket. Tickets are free, and send you out a ticket, and all the instructions, everything will be on the ticket. Okay.
Thanks, Rick.
But I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you give a talk, Larry. Really, you would. Your story would shock them, really. So we're looking forward to it. Like I say. We got in the main auditorium. We have 300 seats. I'm pretty sure they'll all be taken. And then I'm working on a band right now that we're trying to get up there. They're ex-witnesses, and we've had a program on here before called Apostates Got Talent, and they've appeared on that, and they're very, very good. So I'm working on trying to get them up here. We also have a woman. She's a professor. She's an ex-Jehovah's Witness, and she's a professor of artificial intelligence at the University of Kentucky. In fact, she's the lead professor on AI, and she has a talk on how the Watchtower is engaging AI in their activities, their writings, and how they're going to use it in the future. So we have her, and we also have an elder, and people have been writing me. And, we're going to give everybody an opportunity. For example, on Friday morning, we're going to have a meet and greet session. So when it opens up Friday morning, everyone's going to have an opportunity to give 5 or 10 minutes, little speech. Can't go much over that because we're going to have so many people. But everyone who wants to, and they want to say why they came, how the Watchtowers hurt them, and, 5 or 10 minutes, and then other people can speak up as well. And then if someone really has a real extreme story of abuse, maybe they were stalked, maybe they were suicidal, whatever it would be, something that's really extreme, we're going to give them the time to have a half hour to 45-minute talk. So we have a brother coming in. He's a former elder. He's coming in from Ohio. And I've dealt with this man. I called him on the phone. We talked. He has a real story to tell about how his son, who was one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and he was an elder at the time, and how his son committed suicide because of this religion. So that's going to be, these are the type of stories I want the world to hear. We're going to live stream it. I'm going to live stream as much as we possibly can. I want everybody that can't be there to be able to at least see it. And I'm trying to get some pretty high profile apostates and even opposers to come to the convention via the internet, and come on. I'm trying to get Erwin Zalkin. I'll know by the end of next week whether he can make it or not. He's the lawyer for the Watchtower, and I'm not for the Watchtower, for the people who are plaintiffs, against the Watchtower, child abuse, and he has a lot to say. So if I can't get him here in person, we're going to get him at least hopefully on the internet. And I'm trying to get a number of authors as well. Randy Waters, we all know him. David Reed. So we're trying to put this all together. And what I want is I want this to be able to go out. There's going to be a lot of people listening in, and people are going to find out exactly what's going on behind the curtains. So that's a little, and then the other thing too, I wanted to mention. Now, Fran and Joe, I know you're staying, and I wanted to mention. I'll do it right here. So you're staying in a hotel near there, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you know the name of that place?
Um,
Was it
hold on,
Residence?
I'll look. Yeah, the
Yeah,
residences.
residence. That's it.
Yep, the resident. It's across the street. And what's nice there is that they have suites, and we're going to be able to cook our own meals. And it sounds really nice, and the price was very reasonable.
Well, I have to tell you, I don't think they're in business anymore.
Whoa.
Really?
I hope you didn't give them a deposit or anything.
No, we did not. But now we're
Oh.
going to have to find another room somewhere.
Well, I went there the other day because you mentioned, now just to give the folks an idea, there's a number of hotels in the area, and
Okay.
that the Residence Inn was really nice. I talked to those people, about
Yeah.
6 months ago, and they said, "Yeah, we'll work with you, Rick. We'll give you a good price and everything." So I stopped in there the other day to solidify it and make sure everything was what they said it would be. So I went up there. They had a big sign on the door. They're closed. That they're making it into apartments. So
Oh.
so I says,
Wow.
"What happened to the hotel?" And oh no, we they shut down. We're not going to make it we're going to make apartments here. So I got
Okay.
thinking of you. But what got me
Thank you.
concerned?
Yeah.
What
you.
got me
Check it out.
what got me concerned is in Tewksbury, there's actually 3 Residence Inn. Now they're
Wow.
not the same. They're not even the same companies, but they all go by that name, which is weird. I mean, really.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, there is some other hotels nearby that
Okay.
now there's a Motel 6 as well. And what we're going to do, we get enough people up here. I'm going to have a shuttle. I've already had a person say they would do this for us. I'll have a shuttle that will kind of shuttle people around from the different hotels, and
Wow.
also for the different places. Now you can walk. It's in walking distance to Cracker Barrel, McDonald's. There's a number of this Longhorn Steakhouse. There's a Circle K convenience store, Dunkin' Donuts, Wendy's. It's all basically within walking distance. But we hope to have a shuttle because some of the people coming will be a little older. So we'll have a shuttle that around noontime that can take people where they want to go. Because if you do eat at the Hilton, the prices are expensive. I have to tell you, the prices are expensive. I'm trying to work a deal. I went over the other day. The girl wasn't there that I wanted to see. But originally they told me they were going to give us breakfast. And it's not like a convention breakfast of the Jehovah's Witnesses. It's not a Danish muffin. It's a sit down breakfast, and it's $17 if you walked in off the street. So they said then they were going to give us that. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, just to let the people know, the Hilton Hotel, if you booked it without the code Farron, use my last name. But if you booked it without that, it's $250 a night. $250 a night. That's expensive. But they take $75 off. So it works out to be about $175. It's still a lot of money. But even like there's a Motel 6, but I believe they're about $150. So, I just want to let people know that there are hotels in the area. So if you're thinking of coming to the convention, you can check them, and find out if you can get one, if you book ahead of time, but don't give anybody any money. Well, most hotels don't need any money,
Right.
so don't give money away. And I'm glad that's because I'm afraid if you guys gave money to that place, it went out of business.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to check it.
Jeez, that would be
I don't know
terrible.
if they asked for a credit card. I don't think so. But anyway, we'll check. But thank you for
Thank you,
letting us
Rick.
Well,
know.
that place was owned by Marriott, so I mean, if you did give them,
Oh,
so they'd give you they
Yeah.
did give you money back. So don't worry about that. But
No.
I'm going to tell the people, even when you make a reservation at the Hilton, you don't have to give them any money. And they blocked 100 rooms for us. They blocked 100 rooms. So, but you don't have to give them any money to make the reservation. But if you're thinking of coming, at least make the reservation. And then a week before, you can say, no, I'm not coming, and you can cancel it. So So anyways, that's the way most hotels do it. So I'm trying to work with them, and it's a really, really nice place. People will like it, and I believe that people will find it's pretty easy to get to. Like I say, we're 20 miles north of Boston, and if you don't, you don't even need to rent a car. It would just be a waste of money. I mean, you can get on a train and come right to Lowell, which is the city next door, and then take a bus out or an Uber. Or you could take an Uber from the airport. I'm trying to work a deal out with Uber. It'll be about it'll be $14 to $20 for a trip from the airport to the hotel. So that's an idea too. But if we have enough people coming, if we get the amount of people coming, I already had a man commit that he would go. We'd have a shuttle back and forth to Logan Airport in Boston and bring him out to the hotel. So you might have to wait around maybe a couple hours because I mean we can't do it every 10 minutes, but probably every couple hours we'll make a trip out, pick people up and so forth. The same thing with going back. I'm trying to work a deal out. We get people back to the airport. So if anyone has any questions on it at all, by all means, write in the chat, or you can dial in if you like. But we got Fran and Joe on with us, and of course they are the king and queen of meetups.
How'd that happen?
They do a good job. Would you like to say hello to Fran and Joe? They're on here with us.
Well, you're doing a great job too, Rick, with
Yes.
that. And we appreciate it.
Oh,
Truly
yeah.
do.
With
Well,
all the-
you know what it is, Joe. I'm having fun.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I'm looking so forward to it. See, when there's nothing better than brotherhood, and we kind of experienced that as even Jehovah's Witnesses. I mean, we got together and we're all brothers and sisters, but this even has a more it has a more cozy feeling to it for some reason. It really
Right.
does. It makes you feel good knowing you can be with people that think like you think. They know what I'm talking about. I talk to so many people, they say, "Well, Rick, what do you do?" I said, "Well, I have a business and I do a radio program on the weekends." "Well, what do you talk about?" They have no idea. They have no idea how nasty and evil the Watchtower is. It's unreal. Yeah. So we got Fran and Joe here with us. If you want to stay alone.
Yeah, we want to give a shout out to Rory Behan. He says hello from Ireland.
Yeah.
My brothers and sisters, I'm in the pub now.
Oh, boy.
I go to the Kingdom Hall and I try to worship Jehovah tomorrow. I hate the divide and I'm deeply ashamed for shunning. Love you guys.
Wow.
We appreciate you coming on,
Thank
Rory.
you for your words, Rory. Thank you.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of courage to speak up.
Yeah.
And you also said that you did speak up about the CSA in Ireland, and they were going to remove you for speaking up, but it says thankfully my English wife intervened and shut me down. So we hope it all goes well for you, and.
Our words are powerful.
Yes.
And so they can get us into trouble like that, Rory, or with the right time and the right message and the right heart, your words are going to be powerful. And it's a question. It's all a question of time and your devising that situation. And everyone who's chemo is in a situation of having to develop the strategy to make their way forward. It's not just out, it's forward. And that's the thing that bonds the people here. They're all making our way forward. See, when we first came into the Watchtower organization, there were people there that, well, I didn't choose to be with them. You didn't choose to be with them. They were people that were there or came in, and I didn't have any choice in whether or not, I'm interested. No, I'm really not interested in hanging around with this person. We're all thrown together, basically. They did it. Well, this is different now. We're a collection of ones who have experienced basically the same thing. And our minds are focused on something that unifies us. We don't all have to think the same. We really don't. We don't all have to have the same point of view as far as religion goes. We don't. Everybody's on a different journey, you know, and that's just fine. That's just fine. But we all stand to learn a whole lot from each other, and to basically to support each other, even if there's differences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. None of this was possible in that other organization.
Hey Joe, I wanted to bring up the fact that people can see on the screen right now on YouTube and Facebook. If you like to come on video, or you like to just come on audio, you don't have to show your face if you don't want to. But there's a link right there. If you hit that link, just kind of hit that link, and that'll bring you on, and we'll bring you on so at least we can hear you, or we can see you. Or if you want to dial in right now and talk to Fran and Joe, and you can talk about anything that's been going on in the world of the Watchtower, you can call in right now. The number's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. So go ahead and dial that up, or you can come on video or on audio. So we'll see what happens there, Joe and Fran, and the line should be open. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Anything that any interest that or any subject that you're interested in, we all stand to benefit from anything that anyone mentions. Because there's so many different friends out there. What you have to say will benefit others.
Go ahead, sister. Do you want to say hello to Joe and Fran?
Hello, Joe and Fran. Can you hear me?
We can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Oh, hello. Hi, Joe. This is Jeannie from Westerly. Can you hear me?
Oh, hi, Jeannie.
Hello,
From
Jeannie.
Westerly. Yes, we had a nice meetup in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you on my laptop, but I turned it down. I'm on my cell phone right now. I dialed in, and I called Rick one time a couple of years ago, but I just want Rick to know that I'm here every Saturday night. I love the show. Joe and Fran, I'm just so happy to see you guys on there tonight, and you guys are like home to me. I'm just going to tell you a little bit of my story for the viewers. You know, I did raise my kids, my three daughters in the Jehovah's Witness organization. I was a hard nut to crack because I spoke and I was worldly. I studied for a long time, but I used to go to the hall and sit and bring my kids. And now one of my daughters is still in. I tried to tell her it was a cult, but she wouldn't hear me. She just didn't want to hear it. And then one of my daughters, my oldest daughter's disfellowship, but she's going back. And she called me an apostate the other day. She said, "You're an apostate." And I told her, I said, "Well, you're in a cult." But anyways, what I want to say is, I finally did get baptized. Two of my daughters got baptized, and I finally got baptized after raising them in there, but I was very worldly. And I didn't feel any love in the organization, and I faded. I left. And then I went on to Randy Waters. It was in 2000. I got a computer, and I watched, I was really shaken and afraid, but I went onto the website, Randy Waters, and I started learning the truth about the organization. And I just kept going on YouTube and watching videos, and I'm fully awake now. But what I want to say is, I've walked on eggshells for years because I didn't want my daughter to shun me.
Yeah.
My middle daughter, who's fully in, I have grandkids there with this daughter. I didn't want her to shun me, so I walked on eggshells for years and didn't celebrate Christmas or birthdays, which I want to, but I But I sneak the kids, some of the kids, I sneak them like money in a card and stuff like that for their birthdays. But that's the whole undercurrent that I want to talk about. There's that whole culture that even like when you leave, and if you fade, like for me, I faded, and I still want to have something to do with my family. I'm a single woman, and these are my kids and grandkids. And that's my life. And the organization, it just breaks up families, and it's just heartbreaking. Yeah. And I just wanted to say that. And, I don't usually call in or anything like that. I've never been on a video, but I saw you join Fran, and I just wanted to call in and say hello. I love your show. I love Rick's show. I love.
Jeannie, I'm so glad you did, Jeannie. And I have to say, what you're talking about is that Beth and Stop the Shunning video, a channel, is exactly what she was talking about. See, the Watchtower knows people. They know how to psychologically change people's minds, even when they're not realizing that they're changing their minds. For example, shunning supposedly is just toward disfellowship. Well, it's to the extent where even if a person is studying and then all of a sudden they stop studying, the people, the members individually can say, don't talk to that person anymore. Well, I'm not talking to that person anymore. And see, the society didn't even have to tell them that. They knew that would be the tendency for people to split company with each other. They knew that. And this just shows the type of mentality that they have. They really don't like people. They like to use people. They view people as a commodity, and they have no compassion for humans. They just don't. They just don't.
Yeah.
And
yes, you're so right, Joe. And there's a whole undercurrent of of the shunning, the culture. There's that whole it's just ingrained in them. There's the whole culture that, and I try to talk to people who want JWs. They don't understand what I'm talking about.
No.
They don't get it. Unless because I was in that cult. Now I understand how cults work.
Oh, yeah.
My eyes are open.
See, we need to understand ourselves with regard to that. For example, we know what it would be like, if you're in an environment where you could, I don't know, something would be contagious. And I'm not sure what's contagious or what not. But, or you can get an infection somehow if under the right conditions. What takes place in that organization is actually infectious. In other words, people can infect each other with their unloving behavior. They actually infect each other. In other words, one sees someone saying, oh, I'm not going to have anything to do with that person anymore. And, oh, yeah, well, maybe I shouldn't either. No, I'm not going to. And it rubs off. And society doesn't even have to tell them that. They don't, those aren't written directives. These are things that they know that people will do to each other. In other words, they're willing to influence each other in an unloving way. Well, we're not willing to infect each other in an unloving way. That's the difference. And see what it's doing, it's separating people. Those that would choose to be loving, those that would choose to be unloving. And I think that's the hardest thing to accept sometimes, especially with family members. I mean, we've got our 4 children.
Well, you know something, Joe? I'm going to interrupt for a minute because it's like a software virus to the brain. You got it. It's like we get this, once we're infected with this, it's like a virus to the brain. It's like a software virus. And, now my kids have it, and it's in the family now. And it's like, you just can't get rid of it.
Jeannie, we constantly consider this with the family because, you know, you look at each of the individuals. I have 4 children, and they're not all the same. You know, there's no reason why they should be all the same. They're not the same. But each one of them is going to react differently to that influence. And I expect them to be who they are, hopefully, and not just what the society makes them who they should be. And that remains to be seen. You know, some are going to be more loving than others. You know, I don't know which one. I'm not going to predict, but that's a reality, even in families outside of the organization.
Yeah, and I've heard you and Joe. I've heard you and Fran say many times they have to start questioning themselves. We can't go there and we can't tell them. I think, you know, I want to tell them everything I know, and I've tried, and they don't listen. So they have to start questioning. I've heard you and Fran say that.
Yeah, these are lessons. These are life lessons that each individual has to learn. They are.
Yeah.
They really are.
That's painful, isn't it? The painful lesson. I learned a very painful lesson, you know, getting baptized into that cult. But anyways, I just wanted to call in and say hello. I love everybody there, and I want to invite somebody else in. So I've talked enough, and thank you
You're so beautiful.
having me on your show.
Thank you. You stick around and come back again.
Yeah, we hope you can make it to Tewksbury because you're not too far away. We'd love
Listen, I don't travel. I got my tickets. I don't travel, but I'm going to get there one way or the other, either a train, a plane, or automobile. I'm going to be there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll if we know anyone that you can. Yeah, if we know anyone that you can travel with, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
All right, and I want everybody to know I did my first meetup with you guys too in Massachusetts.
Yes.
That was awesome.
It was
so awesome.
It was in Massachusetts. Yep.
Beautiful.
Love you.
Love you, Jeannie.
Yep. Thanks for calling in.
Bye. Love you guys.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Anyone else on the phone or would like to come in on video? We know a lot of you are out there.
Hi, y'all, Joe and Fran. How's y'all doing?
Good. How are you doing?
It's great to hear from you. I'm enjoying having y'all on.
I think I know who you are, but I forget your name. Can you hear me?
Remember me?
Yeah, what's your name?
I'm go by Dallas.
Dallas. That's what I thought.
I've heard you before.
And that's great. I agree. It is a absolute fraud that it is.
Well, go ahead, Dallas.
And I've been thinking about the right time and that I'm gonna type up my resignation. That's what I intend to do.
Yeah. You know, everybody's got their own plan.
And what I found out, there's been relatives, at least 2 relatives in the family studying. I had one aunt, she studied, I think you've been in a long time ago.
Okay.
Of course, my one aunt, what I learned from her story, I wasn't around that time, but she was studying, but she was a smoker. And her ex, he was a smoker too, and she was studying, but he didn't like the so-called truth. I don't blame him. And she went to a meet hall, and she said she went to the bathroom, and then he caused the disruption during the meeting. And I thought, well, good for him. I am proud of that.
I wish I was there.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. It was 1970 something that I learned that happened.
Yeah.
But I wasn't old enough to And so he saw through it, and he knows it, and he is still against it as far as I know to this day. And he would be the one that I would want to turn. I think that could have been the one causing that disruption, that could have been the straw that broke the camel's back and could have helped someone wake up.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, I think we're going to find that we're a lot. Go ahead.
I was thinking about doing the same thing too, causing a disruption. And sometimes I'm think about it, but it takes a lot to fight this temptation to have a gun on me at the same time.
Oh, we don't want to do any such thing.
No, not that, Dallas.
You know, Dallas, we want them to wake up and smell the coffee and the bacon and the breakfast. You know, we attract them to something that they want to come out to.
And sometimes I get tested in so many areas. I wouldn't really do that. That's not who I am.
I know. They bring out strong feelings in people because they're so hateful.
But the truth is, I love them very much, and I'm sad for them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, Dallas. We were them. They're ones that are listening now that are witnesses. Well, they're going to become ex-witnesses. So we feel for them just like we feel for each other. They're out there right now. They're listening. And, you know, we're here for you. And even if...
And we all know that we don't understand till we're on the outside looking in.
That's right. So true, Dallas.
Yeah.
Anybody else who'd like to go, they can go right ahead.
Thank you,
Oh,
Dallas.
Dallas, nice hearing you.
You are a sweetheart, Dallas. Thank you for coming on. We love you.
I love y'all too, Joe and Fran.
We stay with us. Stay with us here.
Yes. Hello.
Stefan?
Is that Stefan?
Stefan?
Hi, this is Stefan. How are you guys this evening?
We're good.
Stefan.
Good to hear from you.
Doing good. You know, you said we could talk about anything. You're probably going to regret that, but you said we could talk about anything. I had an interesting experience this morning. I met a buddy. Okay, I met a buddy for breakfast, and during the course of breakfast, I asked how his daughter was, and he was telling me he was a little unhappy and a little disappointed. And I said, "Why is that?" He says, "You know, she's knee deep into this Mary Kay. Now, Mary Kay is a multi-level marketing group.
Yeah.
Herbalife, if they're still around. There was another one. I think it started with an A, Amway, maybe. I don't know if these companies are still around. Mary Kay, yes. But just take any one of these multi-level marketing organizations." He's like, and instead of going to get a job, you know, she needs a job in the worst way, and she needs health insurance, and she needs a retirement plan. But instead of doing that, she's all knee deep into this Mary Kay. He says, in fact, she drove to another state this morning for a convention.
Yeah.
And so in the back of my mind, and I'm going to bring this full circle, so don't get scared. But in the back of my mind, my thought process was how much these multi-level marketing groups operate the same way the Jehovah's Witnesses operate. Okay.
Yeah.
They put all this pressure on her. You have to go to this convention. You don't want to miss it. It's going to change your life, right? So now here's a person who doesn't have money, which is why she joined this thing in the first place. Now she has to borrow somebody else's car. You got travel fees, you got gasoline, you get there, you got to rent a hotel, you got to get food, you know the deal. And you already don't have money to go to a convention, and it's just going to be the highlight of your life. It's going to show you how you're going to make more money than you ever dreamed of in just a couple hours a day, and on and on. Just all these empty, promises. And he was telling me, he's like, I'm trying to tell her, you need to get a job. and you need to get
Yeah.
insurance and 401k and retirement and on and on and on. But he can't get her. The brainwashing has taken root. Let me say it that way. And it's the same thing with the Jehovah's organization. The lady that I don't remember her name. I think I talked with her the other day. That was talking right before Dallas. That's what she's talking about. That brainwashing, where they look at you because you're the enemy when you're actually telling them the truth. But they're so brainwashed they can't see that you're telling them the truth. They actually think that you're trying to oppose them. And I heard something very interesting. Did you call me, Joe?
Well, yeah, I was just going to interject and say, Stefan, don't get in the way of my dreams. See, that's what's operating there. She's got that dream, and you don't get in the way of someone's dreams. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You better believe it. You better believe it. Yeah. Well, I won't get in your way. You can be the king of Mary Kay, Joe. I'm not going to get in your way, buddy. But I just couldn't help but think. I just couldn't help but see all of the same, all of the same tactics and how they capture people's brain. They get you so excited about something that is really a fairy tale. It does not exist in reality. And who knows, when you're going to wake up from this? And I'll relate one other experience very briefly. And this was on YouTube. When I woke up from the Jehovah's Witness cult 5 years ago, I saw that there was actually a number of people who were leaving these multi-level marketing groups, and they were talking about that they were nothing more than cults, and that they were basically just slaving away and doing nothing that in the end of it really benefited them. But there was this one housewife, and she got into one of these multi-level marketing groups. And of course, the first thing you do is you turn all your friends and family away from you, right? Because every time they see you coming, they know you're going to try to get them to buy the latest whatever. And so they just start running from you. They don't answer the phone. If you ring the doorbell, they act like they're not home. So that's the first thing that happens on both sides of the family. And then, of course, things that she was normally doing around the house, all of that started to, kind of fall off. So the husband said, look, we got to sit down and have a conversation. You got to let this go. First of all, you're not making any money doing it. You're working yourself in the grave. You turned our family and our friends. They don't even want to see us coming. And the house is not where it needs to be. The kids are not. You got to let this go. So she wanted to let it go, but she still felt this overwhelming solidarity almost with this group, almost on par with her love for her children, love for her husband, love for her family. And so she called her coach. So think of an elder as the coach. And she said to the coach, look, my husband is pretty much insisting I got to let this go. So, you know what the coach told her? The coach said, if he is getting in the way of your dreams, just like you just said, Joe, maybe he's not the right husband for you.
Right.
She would rather, coach would rather that family have split up so she can continue to sell whatever the product was. And this is the same way with Watchtower. They don't give a damn about your family. They don't care what. You just keep being a free slave to us, giving us all your money and your time. And so as my friend was telling me, all this stuff just kind of flashed, and I was just thinking to myself, these groups are all the same. They're all cults. They all have the same playbook. It's just a matter of what lever they give to what, but they all operate the exact same way. And the story remains to see how this is going to turn out. But she is knee deep in a cult and doesn't know it.
Stefan, there's a whole technology. There are books written about how to go about what you're talking about. And in other words, it's a craft. It's actually a craft. And if you work it, it works.
Send Gary some pizzas, dude, for me, please. 3719 Garden Green Trail, Katy, Texas, 77449. Don't send it.
10-4. It's an absolute craft, and we could, Stefan, we could start this right now and do that with people, and it would work. But I wouldn't do it. But I wouldn't do it because you got to be a psychopath to do it. You got to hate people.
You know, Stephan, you know what's worse
True, you're right.
than multi-level and Jehovah's Witnesses is when Jehovah's Witnesses get involved with multi-level marketing. And we got involved in 3 of them when we were witnesses. And you know what their line was? Well, you can pioneer and you can, and there's Bethelites that are doing this multi-level, and it's like, and they would really try to sell you on it. So I was just thinking of that while you were, you and Joe were talking.
Yeah. Live and learn.
The reason why it's so easy. The reason why it's so easy to get a witness into one of these multi-level marketing groups is because they're already in a cult and they're already doing a lot of the things that you have to do in the multi-level marketing group anyway. You're already doing it. That's why it's so easy.
Yeah, it's already tapped into their selfishness, to their ego. And you can go either way. You can either, someone can tap into your selflessness, you know, your charity, your giving, or they can tap into your selfishness. And if you're open, it's going to work.
Yeah.
It's going to work.
And it works because you've already got a group of people. So you can prey on your friends that are, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses. And oh man, I tell you.
That's exactly right.
Live and learn.
Exactly right. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, so anyway, I just want to relate that. Thanks, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Stephan.
Thank you,
Thank
Stephan.
you for calling in.
Invite someone else, Stephan.
Will do.
We now know he's in goddamn fucking Thailand. In Thailand. Go.
Would anyone else like to come on that would like to share anything?
This fucking goddamn transvestite.
Any thoughts from anyone who
Hey,
would like to share
we don't know your name.
Hey, Joe, we got on Saturday night on Saturday night we have these drunken Bethelites come in on us.
Yes.
Yeah, we've heard.
I know.
So we're working on it. They've been away for a while, but they seem to be coming back in. Yeah.
They get lonely. They get lonely at Bethel. They need good company, and this is good company, Rick.
Oh yeah. Did you want to say something, Thomas? Go ahead, Thomas Hodgins.
Yeah, aloha. Yeah, I'm here in Lawrence, Kansas. Here, I was just going to say,
the conference has been locked.
A little bit, but hey, I'm really looking forward to that convention in August. And of course, I would like to go to the meetups too, if I could ever get to them. But yeah, I was thinking about maybe we could even have some news agencies come and do a news clip for us. I think you did talk about that before, Rick. So that would be really neat too if that works out.
Yeah, in fact, Tom, I will be contacting the newspapers, and if we can get the number coming that we hope to come, they'll come. But I tried to give them to my protest before, but we only had like 20, 25 people. That's an excitement. But if I say we're getting 300 to 500 people, we'll get the newspapers there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that'd be awesome. That would go out all over too, so that would be great.
Yeah. The first ever.
Yeah.
First
history.
First ever.
History being made.
Epic.
Nice to hear you, Thomas.
Yes, Thomas.
Yeah, hey, Thomas. I was just going to say hi to Thomas, and this is Larry Wayne in California, and I'm hoping to meet him and others at the convention.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good to have you, Larry. And I'm looking forward to meeting you and many others over there. It'll be a real good occasion. I've been on this conference for close to when it just first started, so it's been close to 20 years now.
Wow.
And it would really be nice. I'm really looking forward to this thing, and I just can't imagine not going now.
Yeah, it's so nice. It's so nice, Thomas. Would anyone else like to come on and share anything? It doesn't have to be
whatever's on your mind.
Anything.
anybody gonna go to the memorial and protest this year? I've already been invited to the memorial. Somebody caught me at a Hy-Vee grocery store the other day. A Jehovah's Witness came up and said, now we can start talking to you. But they only talk to you if you come to the hall, or if they want to invite you to the memorial or something like that. They do very little talking.
No, that's it. That's it. You know, and they maintain that normal relations aren't upset, but there are no normal relations. They do not maintain normal relations.
That brings up a subject in my mind. You know, the Watchtower, even from a long time ago, even when they kicked me out, they supposedly had something in place that if a disfellowship person was disfellowship for a while, they would have the elders lovingly come and contact them and see how they're doing, if they're ready to come back or whatever.
Yearly. I think like a yearly.
I've been out since 2008. I've been out since 2008, so it's almost been 20 years almost, and they have not. No one's come to see me at all. And there are supposed new policies about welcoming back. It's I don't know if anybody's ever really done that, but in my situation, it's all a farce.
You know, I tell you, Larry, what I think is they don't want the elders or the servants who would go with them, probably just the elders. They don't want the elders negatively influenced by the ones that are out, because they're going to have to listen to.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Oh no, they.
That's exactly right. And I told you this story once before, Joe, but I had a buddy who was in a judicial committee meeting, and somehow they got on the subject of Watchtower teaches that Jesus is not the mediator for mankind, only for the 144,000. And this elder literally jumped out of his seat, got within inches of my friend, yelling and screaming about that's your problem and you don't know the Bible, and of course Jesus is. So here you have elders who don't even know what Watchtower teach, so they don't want them talking to people like you and me. They don't want that. They don't want that.
They're too smart for them. Yeah.
Correct.
See, you know, there's an end game. There is an end game to what's going on right now. There really is. This can't go on forever. In fact, it's so fast moving, you can't even keep track of what is going on. So we're going to wake up one day and we're going to hear and say, what? That happened? Oh my goodness. Wow. I don't know what it's going to be, but that's the way they're doing things, and with the type of knee-jerk reactions that they're doing, I wouldn't be surprised at anything.
I don't mean to put Ruby on the spot, but Ruby, if you're listening, we just watched your video that you put out today, and it was from Pennsylvania with with the new district attorney.
That was a good one.
If you're there, maybe you could mention it. This was a case that was back in 2023, was it, Ruby? And now they just convicted him. I don't want to get the information wrong, but it was about CSA. It's about Pennsylvania. So Ruby, if you're listening, if you could just come on and update everyone on that, because that was an interesting short video that you did. If you can hear us.
Yeah, and along with that, there's so much that's taking place. There's so much investigation and evidence that's being compiled so that the lawyers can actually make some money on these cases. See, lawyers cost. They cost money. The Watchtower throws all kinds of money at lawyers, and so they can.
Oh, something. They said they locked. Hey, Rick. I'm sorry, honey. Someone said in the chat that no one can call in because it's locked. Are you there, Rick?
I'm sorry, Fran, what was that?
Someone said in the chat that no one can call in because it's locked.
I locked it because of that scammer coming in, but I'll unlock it in about 1 minute. I usually if I can lock it, then what happens is they stop coming in like that. But once in a while we do get infiltrated. So if you're listening on the chat, you're in there, we'll unlock it right now. Yeah.
The conference has been unlocked.
Yeah. So anyways, call in now. It's now unlocked. We have to lock it up from time to time, friends. I'm not going to get too much into it because I want to give these guys a heads up on what's going on. You know.
Yep.
Joe and Fran, for the people who are listening who aren't locked, anytime that we get people get locked out, for the ones that are still here, not being locked out, anytime you want an opinion, just ask us on a certain subject. I mean, we may not have anything in particular that we want to talk about, but if you want to ask our opinion, I'm sure most of us have an opinion on something or everything, actually.
Is that Aaron? Is that you, Aaron?
This is Larry.
Oh, it's still Larry. Okay, Larry, sorry.
Larry,
Okay.
I'm game for anyone's opinion anytime. Oh, if that's what you mean.
Well, I have so many opinions, but just if anybody wants to ask an opinion of anyone that's not locked out, that way the program can keep going.
Okay. Well, I think Rick said he unlocked it now, so we're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted Ruby, if Ruby's still on, if she could come on and relate that video that she talked about with the person in PA. I can try to call her. Anyone else want to come on? The lines are open.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, it's
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Bonnie. My cousin witnesses, I was in for 50 years. And anyway, you were talking about how you got sucked into different, what do you call it? Selling stuff for the witnesses.
Multi-level
Okay.
marketing. Yep.
Okay. My cousin, she got into Manatech, and she was trying to get me into it. And she was trying to, she was going to all these different meetings and stuff for Manatech, and I think one of the witnesses that got her into it, he was really rich because of all the witnesses that they were getting into selling this ambrotols from Manatech. Manatech, I think it is. Anyway, I'm looking at it right now. A tub of that is $240.99. The retail is $267.99. So if you join it, they were saying how she was really into it. She probably still is. Anyway, I remember being in service with her one time, and she was saying that if people just don't realize, they don't know that if they just took this Manatech, this Ambrotol, that they could live for 400 years. Okay. She actually said that out in service in the car. Oh, that's how delusional they are when they get involved in these schemes like that. Anyway, I just thought it was.
And Bonnie, Bonnie, that's an extreme example of what people have as their own beliefs and delusions. See, that was extreme. But see, someone else has these normal delusions, let's say, that work in the Watchtower. There's so many delusions, and they know that people can be deluded. It'll work. It works for us. Works better for some than others, and so they're just looking for the ones that the magic works on. It's like magic. It's like magic on them. it, and I don't think magic
Yeah.
works on us. I hope. Thank you, Bonnie.
Yeah, thanks for letting me talk.
Oh, you come on
Bye.
anytime. We're still here.
If anyone notices the map of the United States behind us, those are, oops, this way, different places that we've been, and we've done meetups, and some places we've been to more than once. So we're looking forward to meeting more people in Tewksbury, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So if you're thinking about it, please do, because it's an excellent time to meet people.
Yeah, and incidentally, anyone out there, I'm sure some of you have done meetups. You've either organized them yourself or you've been on them, or you can start doing that. It doesn't take much to do a meetup. You just basically go have coffee with one or two or more of the people at some local place that's close for both of you, for all of you. And then it grows from there. It's so important because, well, we need that connection with people who have a familiarity with each other. It is a protection for us. It really is, against organizations that would do that in a sneaky way. And Watchtower is so terribly sneaky, and so are these other organizations.
Hello.
623, you're on with us. 623, go ahead, you're on with us.
Yes, I wanted to know when what is it? 623, go ahead, you're on with us. The couple, have they been to Arizona? Or do they have a website how we can contact them?
The couple in Arizona?
No, the couple that's on Rick's show now.
Oh, that's us.
That's filling in for Robert Anderson.
We're in New York.
Yeah. So what exactly are you looking for?
I know where you're from.
Okay, when I need to.
Yeah, shut your YouTube off, sister.
I have to pause the show so I can hear, because I'm listening to the show and talking on the phone. Sorry about that.
Yeah, just turn the TV down.
To know, have they had a meetup in Arizona? I live in Arizona, and would love to see that happen here. I'm in the West Valley of Arizona.
Yeah, we were in Phoenix, and we met up with Gigi for GB, Gilbert. And we also met up with Bo Benson, and but there may be other meetups in Arizona, so we can.
Where would we go?
Okay.
Go to.
I missed that. I didn't know about it, but is there? I mean, do you have a website or some kind or a newsletter so I can find out your meetups and maybe see when you're coming back to Arizona?
Okay, if you go to EXJW Friends, there's Ruby, EXJWFriends.com will list the meetups there, and we will find out if there are any in Arizona, and we'll post it on there. We'll post it on there, okay?
Okay, you said EXJWFriends.com?
Friends, yeah. EXJWFriends.com.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you. I will look that up.
All right. Well, thank you.
Our phone number is on the bottom.
No, that's Rick's phone number.
Excuse me.
I put it in the chat.
Chat. Yeah, our phone number is in the chat.
Okay, so. I'll contact you at some point, maybe over the weekend, and we can talk.
Yeah,
if you have time.
Yes,
Okay,
it'd be
sounds
nice.
good.
Okay, thank you very much. You all have a good day.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Thanks for coming on.
Hi, Ruby. Thank you
All
for
right,
coming
bye-bye.
on, Ruby.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, Ruby.
Good. Yeah, you put an excellent video out.
Yeah, that was important to know.
So we thought if you could share it with everyone here, update.
Yes. Okay. So, if everybody remembers, in 2023, Pennsylvania had a huge investigation and they arrested about 14 to 16 Jehovah's Witnesses. There were elders that were, engaging in CSA within their congregations, and it was covered up since the 90s. So, there was an update yesterday. The Attorney General in Pennsylvania, his name is Dave Sunday. So Michelle Henry was the one who started this investigation, and now he's kind of continuing it. And so they just posted this on their Twitter page that one of the Jehovah's Witnesses that was arrested during that time has finally been sentenced. And I'll just read it. It says Mark Brown, 67, was sentenced on Thursday after pleading guilty, and his sentence will be 12 to 30 years for this abuse that took place in 2004 and 2006. So I don't know. In my opinion, that's still fairly recent. That these things are still going on, but thank God they are finally getting the justice that they deserve, that the truth always comes out. And if any other, information comes up, I'm definitely going to do a video about it because we already know that the CSA issue is just out of control within the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses, and they hide it for too long. They don't take precautions or preventative measures to stop this from happening. So when it does happen, they just kind of hide it so that their reputation is still good on the outside. So that's pretty much the update.
Ruby, thank you so much, Ruby. It's so insidious because you say take protection or precautions against it. See, that organization is known for it. And so it draws pedophiles into it. They're there. It's entrenched. So they've got the upper hand. The pedophiles have the upper hand in that organization because the leadership, the governing body, doesn't want reproach. They don't want bad press. And these guys can very easily bring bad press. And so they protect them so that it doesn't happen. And it's basically, it's like they hold them hostage. Watchtower did it to themselves by making it a place that was a safe haven for them. And now they're being controlled by the pedophiles. They really are.
Right. And I agree with King of Dots in the chat section. Yeah, some states, regarding CSA, like the state of Florida that I'm in, we do have the death penalty for any crime committed against children under the age of 12 years old. Wow. So it is my position that I do agree with that, because children cannot really defend themselves. And it's very hard in organizations like this where they don't view the child as the second witness because they want to play the two witness rule. But they don't even take the testimony of a child if it involves children. So yeah, it's really unfortunate that children can fall through the cracks. And that's the only reason why I do what I do, the videos that I do, is because of my uncle who had to register as a sex offender. And yet he still has permission to go to the Kingdom Hall where there's children. And it's horrible, in my opinion.
Yeah. I know, Ruby, and we appreciate you speaking out against that. And if anybody wants to know your channel, what should they look up?
So my YouTube name is just my regular name, Ruby Quinn, and my handle is at New Yorker Rican. But if you just put Ruby Quinn in the search engine, you should be able to find it. And I'm also on the Discord server that you guys just mentioned. So if anybody wants to join the XJW Friends Discord server, I'll definitely put a link in the chat. But we're super active on there. There's a lot of resources on the server, especially activism. I'm keeping really like up to date with that, posting stuff there. There's just so many things happening now more than ever. I have never seen so much activity, so many lawsuits, so many stories, so many survivors coming out with their story. I mean, I thought I was bad with the shunning, but it's so much more worse, and that's sick. Like it's horrible that that's happening. But at the same time, I'm happy that it's happening because it's people could finally see it on the outside. We don't have to prove ourselves. We don't have to prove anything. You just show them all of these stories that we are like sharing on our channels, on Discord, on X, on YouTube, on Reddit. Like there's so many different platforms that people are finally not afraid to speak up anymore. And that's what's gonna take them down is the stories, because we actually went through it. You know what I'm saying? Like they cannot tell us that we are wrong. The gaslighting will not work anymore because we know what it's like to grow up as one to grow up as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, as I was born in. And you guys, how you guys converted even in adulthood, and how much it's ruined even your family. So it's like ain't nobody safe. Nobody is safe if you are a witness or if you're no longer a witness. It's like you still lose at the end of the day. So if I'm still gonna lose, at least I said something. At least I did something.
Yeah.
And in the end, I don't feel as if I lost. I won because I escaped. I said something. I stood up for something. And that to me is more important to me. And I hope that everybody else is confident like that and has the strength to do that, because I know it's hard, but we have to heal and we have to move on. But that also means talking about it and just letting everybody know that this is what we had to deal with. So thank you guys. Thank you for letting me come on.
And thank you
Thank
too,
you, Ruby.
Ruby.
Thank you for coming on.
See, people go to our friendly, helpful voices. And so that's why it's so important to keep the voices vocal.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
I didn't want to interrupt. This is Thomas Hudson from Lawrence, Kansas. Hey, I was just curious if Ruby or anybody knows how well this has been going over. All these letters have been written in and sent into Donald Trump and some of these legislatures, these congressmen that need to know about what's actually happened inside the Watchtower. What they're doing to people's lives and family through the shunning, the pedophilia, and the blood doctor, and all these insane things they force on people, like the hospital liaison committee that stands there trying to induce almost like a suicide, really, in those hospitals. I just kind of wonder if anybody has any information on that. We really are pleased to know that a lot of letters have been sent in.
Good question, Thomas. If anyone knows how many have been on, I know maybe Ruby. Ruby was working with Jimmy Bell.
I suspect we're going to be hearing at some point. And I think that takes a little bit of time for that.
Sure. I did hear that there has been some politicians that have reached out to some of the friends. I don't know to what extent or how many, but that's encouraging to hear. So they are taking note of it.
No, it's
but
good.
We just got to keep plugging away. Never give up. Never give out. We just got to keep right on plugging away until we get our victory.
Yeah, good. Well, we've got a lot in the chat. We really appreciate everyone in the chat. We just want to mention that yesterday was Beverly Hayward's grandson birthday. He was 13 years old. So we want to wish him a happy birthday. And also Dehydrated Nurse, her birthday's coming up April 1st, April Fool's baby, LOL.
Nice.
Yep, very nice. Yeah, let us know anyone's birthdays.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Oh, I like your show, and I was just calling out of concern for Barbara. I mean, I know her husband passed, but did her son, who's been shunning her like 30 years, did he help her with the funeral arrangements? Do you know?
I can't say. I don't know. Maybe Rick or someone knows something about that. But it's something everybody kind of has a concern for. I know. I don't know. I don't.
Because I thought with the new changes, at least they can talk to a disfellowship person during the time of like a death or a funeral, make arrangements. But some witnesses would still shun you even during a funeral.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the witness. I don't know. Rick, do you have any information on that?
John, John, what was the? I just caught the tail end of it. I was just doing some other thing here. But what was the person died? Did you say?
Well, no, I was just saying that I heard about Barbara Anderson's husband passed, and I was wondering because I remember she had said her son has been shunning her for like 30 years, and I was just wondering, did he like at least help her with the funeral arrangements and? Or is he still shunning her? Or?
Well, yeah, no, I talked to Barbara last week, and what happened is the son, after not speaking for over 20 years, called Barbara. I mean, that's his mother. His father just died, so the son called Barbara and said that he was sad over the whole thing, but he was very cold. She said he wasn't really getting into the family feeling here. He was very cold about it all. He had a just small little discussion with her. They didn't get into talking about apostates or anything like that, but she wasn't really totally satisfied with his demeanor, the way he presented himself in the call. It seemed like it was just done out of, well, I better call my mother and tell her that I'm sorry Dad died. I mean, how cold can things be? So she was kind of concerned about that. It did bother her, and but she said, they did have a conversation. He's very busy at Bethel, and he's a real loyal Jehovah's Witness, and it's just sad. It's really sad, John and Joe and Fran, that the organization actually doesn't encourage it. Now they don't come right out in the literature and say, don't call your mama, she's an apostate and your father died. They won't say that, but there's a message that's given out. The witness would feel very uncomfortable,
Yeah. Rick, we talk about this all the time. Our four children haven't contacted us in what?
3 years.
3 years.
Right.
Now, in the event of one of our deaths, and I would not view any one of the children returning at that point as a sign of respect. I really would not. In fact, for the surviving mate would have to feel and realize that my mate, my loved one, had to die in order for you to make connections. That is not, to me, that's not a sign of respect. That's not paying one's respects at all. In fact, the family does not take very kindly to the fact that they're doing that. So what we talk of doing is making arrangements with the funeral director and seeing if they will contact our children and let them understand that they really would not be welcome. They would not be welcome there by anyone's there. just so that they understand really what's going on, what they're doing. See, I happen to feel that there's a lack of understanding about the situation. I think they're under that kind of a mind control that prevents them from seeing the deeper situation. If they think they can just waltz in and quote unquote pay respects, that's not the case at all.
Yeah, they did that when Joe's mom passed away last March, and they came in, and we were in line, and they came up to Joe and they said, "I'm sorry," and they hugged him, and then they moved on, and they said the same to me, and they moved on, and they didn't say anything else to us. So the family there that are not Jehovah's Witnesses, and they know the whole situation, they felt really bad that they did that to us, and they, it angered some of them. So they're not giving a good witness.
So if anyone's
horrible.
So if anyone's listening right now, anyone active witnesses who either are shunning or aren't shunning, either way, you have to understand that you're locking yourself out of a normal human relation that you might regret later on in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so important that you think very, very carefully about what you're doing. It truly means your self-concept for the rest of your life, that you will own, and you won't be able to get rid of it. See, we make ourselves who we are. It's our character. And we have to be very careful that we're glad for the character that we're developing. Watchtower is not concerned about that. They're concerned about what they're developing in you that they want, not what you want. It's important to think about that. This is something that we're trying to work on too, because we would like our family to understand that we would like connection with them, but not under those circumstances. That would be heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that would be heartbreaking to have the family come, the children come, only at someone's death. That would be heartbreaking.
I think someone wants to come in.
John, you want to say something? Go ahead, John.
Oh no, that was it. I was just, concerned about Barbara, because I know I had talked to her a while back, and she was so nice. I just couldn't understand that her son was shunning her like that, and she was telling me that she hasn't even met her grandchildren because he had children, didn't even tell him about it. So it's just how cold they are. I just can't understand that, how they treat disfellowship people like you're dead.
Yeah, that's how they do, John. Go ahead. I believe, Susan, that's you again. You want to come in, say hello to Joe and Fran? Hold on, Susan. I'll put you on. I'm going to unmute you. Okay, you're ready now. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to mention that Barbara said her son was no longer at Bethel. Was that not true? I think she said that her son was no longer at Bethel and he was somewhere being what they call a custodial something, which is basically just a janitor.
Yeah, I do believe he's not at Bethel. I think he was like a commuting Bethelite. And then he's not there anymore, from what I understand. He seemed to be wrapped up in his job. But you heard Barbara too. She was talking to both of us, Susan. Was Barbara happy? Was Barbara happy?
No, she was very confused. And he talked with her. And then when he ended the conversation, it was like it was kind of over. He didn't indicate that he would call her again or check up on her, because Barbara's going through some health issues right now herself, and she could use some help. In fact, she called someone, a young man, about her situation, and he came and moved in with her and her sister-in-law to help her because she needs help. And so he's like a son to her. He's better than a son to her. He's an ex-witness. So it shows how wonderful our community is, that we step up for one another. And her own son, which could really help her right now, won't step up and help her. So it just goes to show.
Well, thank you for bringing that up too, Susan. I kind of forgot about that, but that's absolutely right. Barbara did mention to us, and when she comes on, she'll tell us all about it. She has an ex-Jehovah's Witness man. He's in his 40s, and he heard about Barbara's plight, and he was so sad. He was so sad that, this happened to Barbara, that he says, Barbara, I'm going to come and be with you and help you. So he went in, he moved in. Barbara gave him a room in the house. He's taking care of the yard and fixing some things around the house. And here is, like Susan just mentioned, here's an ex-witness man that's willing to help Barbara, and yet her own son can't step up the bat here and come forward. But yet this is the most loving organization on the planet, folks. I mean, that's why we do these programs. I want people to know. JP, you're on with us. Go ahead, JP.
Hi, Rick. How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm glad Joe and Fran were on here tonight to fill in for Barbara Anderson, and I'm glad that they announced our meetup that's coming up next weekend on April the 5th in Burbank. So looking forward to that.
Hi, JP.
Hi, Joe. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes,
I can hear you. Good to hear you.
Sounds like it's going to be a nice meetup, JP.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And I thank you guys for getting this trend, like Rick was saying, for people to get meetups. It really wasn't anything going on before too much, before you guys started doing this stuff. There are few and far between, but we seem to have a regular one going on out here. So I thank you guys for that, for starting that.
You're providing such a good example.
Well, yeah, somebody has to do it. There is going to be no meetup that happens unless somebody steps up and says, we got to get a date. But
that's right.
It was Karina, me, and this guy Ryan. He's not Ryan from New York, Ryan Ayan from Liberati, but this other Ryan from Southern California. He's the one that actually chose the date in that. So he broke the ice with that. But I would recommend anybody that's listening that's an XJW to go to a meetup. And if you don't know of one, ask Joe and Fran. They'll direct you to their website, or they'll connect you with other people, and you guys can form a meetup. And these things are the most cathartic and healing thing. You meet new friends, and then when you go to the next meetup, you have friends that you already know, and then there's new people that show up. And it's a really healing experience. And it's just good to meet up with other people that you've never met before. Some people go to meetups and they'll find other people that they've known in the past, which is really good. But to know somebody that, even if you're a very shy person, which I'm kind of, I'm more of a to myself person, but when you go to these meetups, it's already the icebreaker that you're an XJW, and when you come from the witnesses that when we were witnesses, we were just willing to meet and accept anybody as our friends, but as XJWs, we know where we're coming from. So we still have that same attitude. We're very open, and we it's almost like meeting brothers and sisters that we had in the organization, but we're ex-brothers and sisters. So the love is still there once we left the organization, and it's a very powerful thing. And we come to find that a lot of us have obviously grown a lot from the organization, but we have this bond that we come to realize that a lot of us are a lot different, but we have this background that we can relate to. So for the most part, I've only seen people bond good friendships and acquaintances from these meetups and stuff. And not everybody that you meet up, that you find at a meetup, you'll connect with, but you still meet people, and you'll meet new friends and get numbers and stuff, and people that you do connect with and stuff. But for the most part, everybody gets along splendidly. We all have a common background and something to talk about, and everybody there is moving on and trying to rebuild their lives, and we're all helping each other do that. So I just wanted to thank you for announcing that on the show tonight, and I'll let you guys know how it goes next Saturday, because about this time next Saturday we'll be at the meetup, so it's really kind of exciting.
Yeah, we look forward to hearing how it goes.
Pictures too, if you want.
Yeah, pictures.
Yeah, I'll take some pictures, and then if I'm able to, if Rick's live, which he probably will be, I might try to call in the show from the meetup, and maybe, everybody can say hi, or whoever's, able to or willing to.
Nice.
Can say hi and give a shout out to Six Screens also.
Yeah, that'd be good, JP. We'll be live. So if you can call in during the program, if you have some pictures too, it'd be great. It'd be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah,
Rick, if you want, I'll let you know, but if you want to put up a StreamYard link next week, maybe we can all just give a quick shout out to you and Six Screens and all our XJWs from our meetup.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. I'll put that up. Yep.
Give everybody a quick shout out, and then that'll be it. I'll let you know.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, Rick, thank you. That's all I had to say, but it was good seeing Joe and Fran tonight, and I hope Barbara Anderson is okay, which I know she will be, because there's a huge community supporting her, even though almost none of her family, her son and that, are able to, which we all understand why. Yeah. So we're all here for her, and thank you. Everybody have a blessed night.
You too, JP. Good hearing you.
And just to let folks know, the woman that called in from Arizona, she already emailed me. And if anyone is near Sun City, Arizona, like Joe said, you don't have to have a big meetup with 10 people. You can just two people having coffee, or going to a park, just to kind of talk to somebody who understands where you've been. Yeah. Because like Rick said, most people that were not Jehovah's Witnesses do not understand the trauma that we went, and it's called trauma bonding. So even if you've been out, we've been having contacts from people that have been out 30, 40 years, and they feel like there's something missing in their lives, and we connect them with people. I know Vexed Cortex has been out for a long time, and we connected him with JP and Ricky Bobby and a whole bunch of others. And it just changes your life when you have someone to talk to that understands what you went through. So we appreciate that.
Well, Joe and Fran, maybe we'll get to the news here tonight. My goodness gracious. So take about a few minutes and go ahead and wrap it up and give your closing comments and what have you. And that's good. You did a good job. A lot of people calling in. We had to lock the program there for a while, but we're back in action now. So go ahead and give your final thoughts.
Okay. Thank you, Rick. We're just grateful that friends stay connected and make more connections too. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't take much to make a connection. And if you don't know of anyone in your area, just give a call, because
give them our number.
Our number is there somewhere.
No, we'll just give you our number.
Yeah, we'll give you our number. but call us.
Yeah.
We've got many people around the world that we can connect you with. And they don't have to be just in your area either. You could be connecting with someone around the world.
You can be on the phone or you can email someone. But our phone number, if you want to take this down, I'll say it nice and slow. And we're on the East Coast, so you have to keep that in mind. Our phone number is 315-221-0130. Again, that's 315-221-0130. We are in New York State, and so just keep that in mind when you call us. Text us. We have a business, so sometimes we have customers here, so we'll be glad to talk with you, listen, connect you. That's our main thing, is that we connect people. And then they get back to us and they say, you know, we talked for 2-3 hours on the phone, complete strangers, but you have so much in common.
And it's life-changing for them too, because here they've been just basically ejected from their families or their relationships, and they're alone, they're lost.
Yeah.
And now, with knowing so many people, they have family.
Yeah.
It's family.
And we appreciate your show, Rick.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah, we called in on your program, and our lives have never been the same.
That's right.
Well, I'll tell you, it's an amazing thing. I can't really even come to grips with what has happened here. As Ruby was saying, she says she's never seen so much activity. And it's the same thing here. When I would do the news 20 years ago, there was nothing to be said. In fact, it was all positive stuff. I'd say that, everything I read about the Watchtower, the witnesses are coming into convention in Ohio, and boy, the Chamber of Commerce is getting ready for them, and everything was positive. So we weren't getting any points on the scoreboard at all. We looked like poor losers. But now we're starting to win a few battles here or there. So it's been good, Joe and Fran.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Rick.
Yep. All righty. We'll see you guys later. Keep cranking away at, as we say. We appreciate it. Thank you, Fran and Joe. Well, that was good having Fran and Joe on with us. Now, folks, we are going to JW World News. We're going to give you the stories that are going on right now behind the curtains of the Watchtower. You'll find them very, very fascinating. So don't go anywhere. And then after the news tonight, we have Eric out of Nashville, Tennessee. He'll be coming on with his Awakening After the Watchtower program. So looking forward to Eric tonight as well. I want to thank everyone that's come in. Boy, we had a lot of people that have been trying to come in tonight. Sorry we had to lock the program there for a while because of some of these issues that go on. I believe they're drunken Bethelites, and they try to come on Saturday night and disrupt things. So thank you for being patient and understanding that. Well, we'll go to JW World News. That's next. Stay with us. Same channel. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in about a minute. Thank you.